Have you ever wondered what a Robux is? Or why kids are staring at their screens looking at block-like characters? Well, let's talk about Roblox, the ever-expanding multi-billion-dollar industry that's changing the video game universe. Is it helpful for kids or detrimental? And what's a child psychiatrist's take on it? Join us on Psych Child.
Roblox is a massively popular online gaming platform that allows users to create games, play those games, and interact with other players across the internet in virtual worlds. With a whopping 67.3 million daily users and around 216 million monthly active users, Roblox is one of the most popular virtual platforms globally amongst children. How popular? Consider this. A whopping 54.25% of those active users are under the age of 13, spending countless hours building and playing in virtual landscapes. But with such widespread popularity comes scrutiny, and there are both negative and positive impacts associated with the use of Roblox. On the one hand, Roblox has been praised for its ability to foster creativity, problem-solving skills, and social connections among players. On the other hand, concerns have been raised about the potential for addiction, cyberbullying, monetary exploitation, and exposure to inappropriate content. In this episode, we'll be exploring these issues in depth and taking a closer look at the potential impact of Roblox on the mental health of children and adolescents. We'll examine the risks and benefits associated with using the platform, and consider how mental health clinicians, parents, and caregivers can help their kids navigate the complex world of online gaming.
Hi, and welcome to the Media Psych Minute for this episode about Roblox. You've heard about its history and current impact. Now let's talk about the psychology of playing Roblox. Let's first acknowledge some potential issues for young players. Some players could become too dependent on their playtime in Roblox for enriching experiences and can forget to tend to real-life relationships and responsibilities. Roblox rewards players who create popular games for their platform. Young players could burn themselves out trying to make money, leading to emotional distress. However, young players who can regulate their media habits, either independently or with the help of their guardian, can dodge these issues and enjoy many psychological benefits that Roblox has to offer. Curiosity and autonomy. One of the main draws of Roblox is the freedom of choice to explore many different worlds and games. Researchers have found that exploration and curiosity are natural and healthy motivations to play, both in real life and in virtual worlds. Because we naturally want to see and experience new things that can help us gain a more profound understanding of different relationships, dynamics, and concepts. So, when a player has the freedom to pick and explore a game, they're expressing autonomy, which is both an innate human need and an important part of development. Young players who have important timetables and responsibilities like school, homework, chores, and bedtimes will usually seek out autonomy in virtual worlds. And according to media psychologists, we all have a recovery process where we engage in activities to rest from our responsibilities and recover our basic psychological needs like autonomy. Self-expression. Roblox gives players a low-pressure practice environment to explore their identities and self-presence in a virtual world with lower stakes than in real life. Players can build their avatars from scratch, and studies show that the mindful exploration and creation of self-presence in virtual worlds can positively impact a player's overall health and well-being. Rewarding skill practice. Roblox offers many tiny worlds where kids can flex responsibilities we enjoy having as adults. They manage their time, money, attention, and collaborative relationships with other players. They practice giving themselves goals, including timelines and budgets to accomplish them. It's also very beneficial that when players create games in Roblox, they need to use real-world problem-solving and creative thinking, combined with hard skills like coding. There has also been serious consideration by many researchers of using Roblox as a socially collaborative learning tool. Socialization. Interestingly, because Roblox features many games that require collaboration, teamwork, and situations that replicate real life, like owning a home, adopting pets, or having a job, Roblox could also help players develop interpersonal skills and a stronger understanding of roles and dynamics in real life. Studies also suggest that players who partake in massive online games can experience decreased feelings of isolation and enhanced social integration. This has been Media Psych Minute. Thank you.
Kid comes in, they're on the phone, the parent looks at you like, what should I be worried about? What do I do about Roblox? What is Roblox?
I totally agree. Thing number one for parents to know is that Roblox, it's almost a misnomer to say Roblox is a game because it's a collection of games. So it's equivalent to a child saying, hey, mom and dad, can I go watch a movie? Okay, but what movie? I mean, when you play Roblox, you have to ask them, what are you playing in Roblox? Because there are thousands, as Casey was saying, thousands of games within Roblox.
So I think that bridges the gap then, right? Where it's not initially about documenting safety, it's developing that alliance and using curiosity, asking the child, what do you play on Roblox rather than what it like how much Roblox you're playing, right? Like your classic, like, yeah, stop, get off your video game, and spending a lot of time having them teach you.
It's the intrigue and the interest, but I do think kind of safety is a concern, and I understand why it's a concern for parents as well. But to get that information, we have to meet somewhere in the middle.
So I guess that then bridges us back to our first question. We have an alliance. We're working with the kid. The parent is like, okay, I kind of understand. And then they come to you and say, they seem to be enjoying this game a lot. And I understand they're playing these different games and, they're meeting other people. Is there anything that I need to be worried about?
I think that's when you check the settings, because there are parental settings in these things. And having the parent take some effort and time to learn what parental settings are in every game, not just Roblox. Anything that the kid is playing, I think is important. Learning what the multiplayer, especially settings are, what the purchasing settings are, because you don't want the kid running up thousands of dollars on the credit card. And then, and there's some games that have like age restriction settings for whatever groups or whatever particular games that the kids can interact with. And some games are better than others about checking verifying who is playing on what. And so having the parent take some time to actually learn and maybe research that a little bit is going to give them a lot of ammunition. One of the key things that, I have to figure out is, okay, the established problem here is you're spending too much time online. Why are you spending all this time online as opposed to in person? What is it about that online interaction that you are preferring over your real life interactions? And I think that's a good place to start.
I think the other thing that we can try to do sometimes, right, is if they are using it a lot, is instead of turning it into a take it away, turn it into a reward, as we talked about last time, right? Especially if they do want those in-app purchases, that might be, if it's within the realm, right? It may be that you can kind of give a reward for if they do the other things that you want them to. I think it depends on what we're actually dealing with.
Role play, run a scenario, right? Say your kid is doing well, things aren't an issue. Well, prepare for the worst, right?
I just had that conversation with my 4-year-old about in real life. We were out in our front yard and I was like, hey, what would you do if somebody pulled over and said, I have some lollipops in here. Come check them out. And she gave her answer. She said she wouldn't go. And I said, what if they said your parents said it's okay? I talked to them. She paused for a little bit and thought about it and then said, I would say I need to talk to them. But are you saying that same thing can be very easily translated into the virtual equivalent?
Absolutely. It's super important to read about the game, to learn about the game, to play with your kid on the game to see how they interact, and then morph that type of stranger danger conversation you would have normally outside of media into Roblox. So today you learned about Roblox, the massively popular multiplayer online video game platform in which players can create their own video games and develop some type of creative expression through their avatars, but also suffer from burnout and have to deal with monetization at a super young age. If you'd like to learn more about any of these other topics, feel free to check out our explorations or visit us at psychchild.com. Y'all have a great day.